Thần visa phù hộ vậy? Hiệu quả nạp. Thôi cái này hơi xấu nha. Cái này xấu. Cái này cần thay nha. Cái này đúng là mới phao nhưng mà cần thay. Còn gì? Yeah. Who down? It's who down.
Ready for trial. Error.
All right, let's head off.
The palais is right up ahead. Come on. I'll remind you again. The law can be both...
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters.
Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be.
See? They've got great
Yep, yep. Paimon can...
If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards...
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from...
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must...
We're here today to report and archive some information.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're...
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just...
Thanks so much.
Please come in.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other...
It's all right. Please let me know how...
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vache. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can...
Ah, I see. In that...
knew that Neuvillette would be so easy to talk.
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been in. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Traveler, what if it was—
Is that so? All right then.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deep...
And what are you trying to say? Are you trying to console me? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duel, you even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call it? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. There are still so many things I never got to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly... It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine. Rain. It's rain.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the...
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of...
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water? And then... Yeah! And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if...
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new...
Yeah! We're gonna make progress for sure this...
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later? Great. Let's go.
This weather's got me in the mood for reciting some laws. Let's see. Commercial Law of Lila, Chapter 27, Section 6, Article 3 stipulates that... Wait, what was it? Oh my goodness, I've completely forgotten.
what is wrong with me today? Sometimes the law is compatible with human nature, but sometimes the two conflict. Balancing the two is a discipline in its own right.
Whoa! What a huge ship!
There's no need to be so surprised. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is a gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless...
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Paimon was confused why a group was... But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself...
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all.
Yep, they might have it good.
Gonna get burnt.
But it ain't.
Melus, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle. And you said before that you still had some business at the court.
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really... You still remember, right, Melus?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, at a glance, it was a kind of drink that could...
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that...
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, if you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many... And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes. As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath. But not only that, Boss became determined to find the master.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work. After that night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the...
Huh? How did that happen?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, looking back on it though, I now believe the most important clue...
Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now.
But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one... You're right. We still don't know what happened.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past. I think this third person... On that note, however, even though our opponent is insidious and cruel, Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most has welcomed you to follow your father's path.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. Did he think I'd just accept his I've never accepted that. Ever. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake.
Davia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears.
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, boss. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he and the serial disappearances case cost him 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. But as long as you remain safe, if something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told.
Right. So nobody would be able to get.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time.
No, I don't believe it. He never.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as...
So he chose to die inside.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, demoiselle. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want... I'm sure he'd be...
That fool. Couldn't... No. He might have set up everything Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I... Yeah. I suppose that's true. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. Huh. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared?
It's the location where synth is produced when he was threatening the enemy boss. But if you want to use it against...
Why? If we know where the place is...
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against him. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a... The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the fun...
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no...
Huh. That's true. But things are different now. It should be a lot
You sound like you've put a lot of thought in...
I am the butler, after all. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But
Thank you for all of that, Malus.
Let me think. When I announced orders to if the vendors didn't change after several rounds of the first is Florent, Spina de Rosula.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. The boss helped in the beginning. They were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're...
So, they're like a sister organization of...
Yes, you can say that. When we were... It's a bit difficult to imagine someone...
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between... Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many since Thierry is always in the know about our current activity.
I see. These are all people who like to think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next...
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the...
Of course. And thank you.
You're too kind, my lady. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would all... After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in... If it might help, you could also pay them...
Aw, thank you so much, Malus.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together to uncover the truth.
It is settled then. Please excuse.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died,
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you. Because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a... I know only the full truth could bring closure to you.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I...
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't...
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he tried to be as careful as he could. But even
They found out about his...
Papa didn't say that exactly. But Papa did tell me that I should...
before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I don't know that for sure. But you could... Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self...
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad? Papa always wanted to be a good...
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was...
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must, regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely...
Thank you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really...
You really think that's the first...
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florence should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned...
Yeah, I've heard. With something that...
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident, after my partner here put the dots together for me, can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking. My first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. But when I got there, it was already too late.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. Reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the tape, but according to the guards, that doesn't mean he could. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned, do you think there was a third person there who was
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding? Probably...
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callis ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. He didn't even want to face... Did he lose all faith in the court?
About that, I'll tell you everything.
I understand. Then, and if I may just say one more thing. Many people have laughed at me for still... But it was Mr. Callis's, no matter what others might...
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well. It's me.
Oh, now, what brings you...
Oh, so you've got...
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under no...
I mean, where I work is really up to me. But Callus did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rasula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway.
Ah, yes. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be... If you want to go through the original file...
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question.
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly... Why do you ask?
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do was get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Then you think too. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha, they're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'll be staying in this...
Hello. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Marcel.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes,
Oh, you were at the...
that's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the...
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded.
Exactly.
Oh,
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be—
Oh, you're giving us—
alas. But rest assured, if anyone dared—
Thank you, Uncle Mars. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay. No need to—
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage.
We've talked to all three suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. Anyway, even though we didn't—
But where should we start? Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth—
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back— Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a— Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit, as it's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordials—
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this—
Given everything that's happened since, it's— But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Uncle Marcel? And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large— Still really hard for me to imagine, though. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of Mora and energy? Thierry, you say? But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us.
Yeah, had he actually tampered— If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out what—
Florent? It is true, but as Spina di Rosula's advisor,
So you're saying he's too broke?
Exactly. He can't. And even... who could it be? You know, if you think everything through...
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes, we need far more—
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after—
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui Harbinger called—
What? Is that—
Yeah, we know him.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit.
Wait, how?
That's what I thought was strange. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next—
Right, because they'll—
Yeah. And it'll be a lot
I understand. Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention— You're right. This is our best opportunity. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be—
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Linny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malus, Silver. When did—
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that it's our hope that...
Thank you so—
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance.
Wind Strider! Into the wind! Hip!
found it! Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth You're right. Navia's probably...
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the...
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated... However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their... In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back.
Hey! Don't you understand?
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants... Then why don't you duel me too? Huh?
No. That's not what I...
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant... In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning.
That case had nothing to do with him. You... Huh? What's going on?
Why is she interjecting?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you, and if my charges prove true, then
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia.
That person is... Something's... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières!
Huh? What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but...
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is... And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with...
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please Mr. Marcel, you will not...
Apologies. It all just... I think an attorney won't be necessary.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember, both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun. While the guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarand in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts about the case.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no... in truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information. This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead. Something... The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating. However, in the end, he reconsidered, and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility, and had sent out another assassin. Something's not... A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something is
What a great theory. It also explains Callus...
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime.
But I think I agree with everything Navia just said.
Then, may I ask some questions? 1. Do you have the evidence?
I'm a... I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing...
That makes sense to me.
Why do I feel like
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself.
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after...
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. Then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had
I've thought about this too. And the answer is the dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important... My father could have exposed it for all to see, but at that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shot. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next...
What? If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have... Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter, but what good would that do? How can a hollow vert... Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its... But by staying silent, we retained the ability to I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more... And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
So, you mean to say...
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Cloran. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. But since he entrusted his will to you, Cloran, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored in my line of work. I've seen all kinds of people give just one look and I can tell if a duelist is... I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no...
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between...
Right? What she said was fast.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the...
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques, and at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because the culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already... Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and...
So that's why you suspected me. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive...
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, on top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone
Know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also... Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me...
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped...
I do apologize, Demoiselle.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure...
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my... Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable...
Seems like she got the wrong... At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely...
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's... But aren't you going against all of his wishes and He wished for you to become more rational, collected. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into...
This isn't just about me. And it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that the people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who... Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd...
I was waiting for you to say that.
nature.
I'm going in!
Whoa! The floor is going up! Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place. Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up. The water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Time for your arraignment!
Into the wind.
Now disappear!
The wind knows me.
Motion to compel! Breath of the flame! Everybody stand!
Now the path is clear. Let's go!
Into the wind. fallen leaves.
Adorn my...
Teamwork is drip! Incinerate! Just time for your race!
Let's get this show on the road.
After all, though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here. That's right. Then let's hurry up and... What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things labeled with Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearance? And then they were turned into what? And all the boxes of things. These names. That means... Oh, look! There's an important looking basin over here. And it's full of water! That means this is where they make all the synth! And if you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth! But the pure stuff can just... Paimon will take notes on... Let's see what's written here. Nothing... Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an Yep! This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still... The old dog's a real menace to deal with. He can act whenever he wants. I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. They're all just so evil. What's this over here? Looks like some kind of place for research. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea, and the experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Females... Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just... How can someone write something that terrible? You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's why he did it. Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... So that's it! Vache was no victim. No, that's not it either. If that's the case, in any case... Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain... Mixing in progress. Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep, it's... We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our theory... Yeah! We haven't found anything that... No wonder even Nervalette was that way. Even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify... Sure thing. Isn't it Vache's lovers? Then you found her diary. Let's see. Aw. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. So many! A whole page's worth! The final name's Marcel. Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that Hey!
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vache? Oh, so you...
I've merely
I was waiting.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner.
Just how often do you intend to flap?
It's all right, Monsieur Neuvillette. Given their confidence... But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair, and we already know after your lover, Venier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you. You even created Marcel as a new identity, and destroyed all records of your past as Vache.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera perform, and with that, Marcel's motive has now...
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior... Well, Marcel, do you know where you... You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real...
Or our determination to see
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of that? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my... No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, they said there's no way a human being can turn into water. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, you only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house, Venier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, but I'm not from this blasted place. So I can't be dissolved.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go! I can't follow! I did all of that. And in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better of me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need to save Venier. A promise. We made a promise. Venier, please, Venier.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that...
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review... The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vache, and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover, Venier. During an underwater expedition, Venier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea, and was dissolved in front of Vache as a result. Vache learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others, and began to kidnap young women to cover his tracks. He invented the new alias of Marcel, and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vache discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, After exchanging blows with Spina de Rasula for many years, although the assassination did not go as Vache expected, he was able to turn callous, and just recently, Vache attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became... Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearance. The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vache. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse, caught guilty.
Guards! Take Vache away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearance is...
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the truth?
Yippee! We have Navia! He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally... Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely...
The day our late boss had always hoped for is...
Yeah. See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with...
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past... Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of this...
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be...
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over...
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been the guilty party has been identified, and thus we now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse, guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just... What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunction?
Huh? This has never happened before.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this—
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse. Guards, please take this up.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
He's activating his spell legacy!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Nouvelette, what's going on?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
looking at me. I don't know what happened there either.
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this...
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow— Don't tell me. You thought even I had been blindsided.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Of course, for every performance, there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the— If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blind. Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, all shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble— Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time—
So she chose to make her escape out.
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
She probably just put on that performance to save face. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I—
All right. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, after all, he's done plenty of bad stuff.
right up.
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing over—
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another—
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first— I erased all records of that name. So—
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it? The Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. Please, please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile?
Paimon agrees. What?
This request, is it worth as much to you?
Of course! Wait, no. It's
humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just— Very well.
Your Honor,
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing.
Vache!
Ah!
Yes, that's it. So you heard it too.
Vinier, it's me! It's me, Vache!
Vache? Vache?
I'm here! I'm here! Where are you, Vinier?
Hey, wait! Be careful! Help!
Vinier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vinier!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't... You look a lot older than I remember.
It's been more than 20 years. All this time. Only the thought... I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get... Vinier, you are my everything. I really don't know.
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be...
What are you...
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree, and if not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of... It's all because of your self...
You... Wait, you are not Vinier. Who are you?
You're right. I am not Vinier. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea,
I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not.
Why? But then, where is Vignere?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the— You are a liar. A heartless murderer. The only thing you are not. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vignere's, she has had nothing but pure.
No! Yeah, she can't hate.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came. But on top of that, she also said that she said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Vache.
Vache? Vache. 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 Drown.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Huh. Well met, partner. Hi.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days. Paimon's already started to miss you.
Oh, now that I believe.
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days.
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making... Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he... This time, though, everyone in Puss...
So his name's definitely been cleared now.
It's been the dearest wish.
That blasted stubborn fool. Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I... well, maybe it'd be more...
Huh? So you know Charlotte too? V?
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula. I believe the story was called The True Heart of... To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature. She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on...
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been...
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house...
Now that's another...
Oh, and in other news,
Oh, are you two on better terms?
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, it was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean...
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought Clarend wasn't actually a bad person. It's a...
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved... Oh, actually...
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave. And on top of that...
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go too. We all...
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share them.
And in that case, everyone, let's be off.
Yeah, you're right. It... Huh. This...
Huh? There's someone there already.
Hmm?
Isn't that Nervalette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Navia?
My apologies.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I wanted to show my father how much I've grown, but still...
In that case, I will...
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Nervalette. In any case...
Well, ever since that, there was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there... Oh, rather than that, It's probably... Which is also why I didn't stop your... I believed that a truly innocent... But Mr. Callus proved, if not for his sacrifice, the serial... Mr. Callus made the choice he did for his... And in the end, a justice that's hot. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callus. This regret has filled me with that high and mighty chair in the opera Epicles indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your heart.
So you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but...
Sorry about that.
Didn't I just say you don't need to apologize?
Ah, so Navia and Nova... Let's not disturb them for now. We can... Paimon's never paid respects. Huh? Oh, Paimon didn't know... Oh, no. Paimon... Anyway, Nervalette is still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him.
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Na...
Mm-hmm. We ran into Navi on the street.
I see, I see.
Well, it's...
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it... My apologies. However, for many years, as a divine, not only can it produce... Which is all to say,
So when Linny told us that he...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. In any case, based on Farine, while we do intend to get to... If we did incorrect...
If you ask Paimon, the...
Is there... Your sibling? Another blonde-haired traveler. If he ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure he followed our laws to the letter. Is there anything else?
So...
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea.
Huh. So it really was...
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the... What Vache discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a...
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything.
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender... To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this. Is there anything else? That the sea... Does that appropriately...
That's right!
Yes, up to the... Rumors have it that this
A prophecy? Of the former Hydroid?
2 parts of the prophecy have all... Speaking of the prophecy, Farina, if the rumors were true, then perhaps the...
But with Farina being the way she...
Is there anything else? Very well. It will soon be time for me to leave.
You really...
Crime and villainy do not have the day off.
All right, huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped.
This is no time for distraction.
I'll take care of it. Go, Barbara, go! Boom, boom! Let the show begin.
Step right up. Here comes the finale.
I'll protect us. Sister. I feel a little weak. It is as the stars foretold. Shadows of fate! The boom!
Now disappear!
What do you want from me?
Behold! Too slow.
Sure.
Quake! The wind rises. following me. Too slow. Hup, hip.
Oh, you're calling for me? Coming.
Quit following me. Too slow. Quit following me. Behold! Take it and have fun.
This dance is for you. Positions.
And voila! The wind rises. Yeah. Behold! Quit following me. Quick! Drop the curtains. Adventure time! Off we go! Adventure time! Adventure time! Off we go! Too slow. Quit following me. Too slow. Adventure time!